Hey folks, Nick Harrington here. Today is Sunday, November 3rd, 2024 from a very rainy Pierce, South Dakota. If you've been following along the fishing reports the last couple weeks, you know that we had some concerns for fire dangers as we hadn't had rain for quite some time. So as much as a rainy day stinks for fishing, we will certainly not complain about it for how things sit on the landscape. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today, how things sit on the landscape here in Pierre. We're rolling into November. Fall is here. Halloween is behind us. This is that time of year that hunting seasons are really the focal point. But first off, let's talk about that fishing, and that's because that fishing is still very good. So here on Lake Sharpe, it's that time of year that we get to pitch jigs. This is one of my favorite times of year. I know it's Mason's, I know it's Bob's too. So this is the time of year we get to go have some fun, and that's what we're doing. So those fish are predominantly kind of in that 5 to 8 feet range, which perfect jig pitch and fish. Jig and minnow, just that traditional presentation, but don't be afraid to mix it up too with a plastic too, like a Berkeley Gulp minnow, ripple shad, power minnow, anything like that. Just those pearl colors can produce too. But I mean, jig and minnow, it's tough to beat this time of year, and that's what we're getting them primarily on. Some days you get some pretty good flow going, especially those weekdays. You get some pretty good flow that can make the bite go. But other times, some days it's pitching. Sometimes it's just hanging jigs right over the side of the boat. Just really kind of depends on what that current and that wind situation is doing and how it's positioning the boat too. And yeah, I mean, you'll find those fish in pods. So you just go find a pod of fish, catch as many on them as you can, and then you're pretty much better off just moving 100 feet, trying it again. Just can't keep moving around, keep staying on those pods. And I mean, there's gonna be pods that swim through too. So overall, a lot of fish out there. Same thing, we're seeing those 15 and 3/4 inch fish. Just seeing a lot of those. There is a lot of those in the system this year. That's been the theme all year long since we started Sharpe Showdown in League earlier this spring. Still what we're seeing. A lot of those 15-inch fish. A lot of short fish too. So would like to see them thaw out just a little bit. We're not seeing as many shad as we have primarily, but overall still, I mean, fishing's very good here. It's traditional Lake Sharpe. It's the fall bite on Lake Sharpe. It's how you have a lot of fun. So our friends up north, Lake Oahe, no state records this year. We had 2 last year, but that's a pretty tough hill to climb. Sounds like it's been tougher on that front. That trolling bite is producing fish. There are big fish being caught. Just not that historic bite that we saw last year, but I mean, who could expect that, right? I mean, that was probably a once in a lifetime experience that you probably get to have. So good for those folks that gotta get out there. But you know, there's still a good trophy bite to be had on Lake Oahe. So primarily trolling those crankbaits has been the key. Again, anytime you're fishing over 30 feet of water, just be mindful that those fish, they're probably not going to survive if you harvest them. So just be mindful if you are out there fishing for deep water, whether it's trolling or live scoping. Certainly live scoping, you have that bigger risk because you know exactly where those fish are going to be. Trolling, it's just a little tougher to get down 30 feet plus. But yeah, that bite's still going strong. Sounds like bite over in eastern South Dakota is very good. If you're a pheasant hunter coming here to South Dakota, I mean, please bring your fishing rod. Up here in Pierre, we've got the fast water, the dam. That sounds like it's really kicking into gear too. Those fish have moved up there. That bait's up there now, and that bite has really improved. So go out in the evenings, cast a few crankbaits. That bite is a ton of fun to get in and out there whether it's after a pheasant hunt, whether it's you just got to town and you want something to do. Get out there and experience that. Same thing over in eastern South Dakota. Right at sunset, just go drop some casts off the rocky shorelines, whether it's, jig and plastic, whether it's a shallow crankbait, just however you want to fish it, go do it. It is a lot of fun. So pheasant hunting too, I mean, that's what everybody's coming here for. The news here is this is probably some of the best pheasant hunting that we've seen in a decade plus. A lot of folks are likening it to the early 2000s is what they're saying. So if you are a pheasant hunter and you have your South Dakota trip planned, be excited. If you are a pheasant hunter and you do not have your South Dakota trip planned, you should do it. It's really... Everyone you talk to says this is the most birds they've seen in probably a decade, and they liken it back to that early 2000s. So really good bird numbers. Hunters are super happy. The harvest is wrapped up. If you haven't already, now's the time to hit the field. And those residents too, a lot of resident hunters don't really start hunting till November too. So this is really some of that best hunting. Get out there, enjoy it. This is going to be another one of those years that's pretty dang memorable. So with that, you can also buy your 2025 South Dakota Park entrance license. So get those. They make great Christmas gifts. And yeah, enjoy. We've got deer seasons on the horizon. We've got pheasant hunting taking place, and we've got great fishing. Again, this is the time to enjoy everything we do here in South Dakota. I hope you're able to, and hopefully it's not as rainy as it is today for you. Good fishing.